balcony was I ended up when that flash flood came Thursday, it man, I guess it caught so much water, and then I had water leaking out the ceiling because it was coming from around the how do you call it, like the cup light cup.
Yeah, the pan around it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was coming down right from around it, and I went on here and cut the drywall out, threw a dehumidifier up, and then
right.
Took some of that chemical that I got for the mold, some bleach, sprayed it up there, and then went up on that little balcony area and found where the hole was at. Hopefully that's it. I'm gonna have one of the guys from the neighborhood. He gonna stay down on the business side. I'm gonna go up and throw some buckets of water up there in the area where I flashed it at. Make sure we all good.
Yeah.
Put that.
It's just probably
shit back together.
There's a gutter over there.
It is a gutter. What I saw at that gutter though while I was up there is that it's definitely blocked with a lot of debris, and so so I need to get that debris up out of there so it can flow better.
Yeah, that will definitely do it. You know. So yeah, you gotta clean that gutter out.
Yeah.
And then check, and then you gotta check to make sure that the seams are flashed over the firewall.
Right. Yep.
The thing is, it wasn't the very top, but then you would have more to try to figure out.
Right. It was nowhere else. It was right there. In fact, I measured the distance from the back to the hole, and then I went up there and measured where the hole that I saw was, and then it measured exactly 12 feet. So I'm like, all right, well, it's clearly the hole. So yeah, man. So working through it.
It's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. Just gotta be in front of it. That's all.
Oh yeah.
But as I was saying, this show we just gonna do a continuation of or a follow up from last show because we really didn't get down to the nitty gritty of what's coming down the pipe, because there's so much politically and that will affect all of us. We need to be prepared. That's where I was trying to go with it. What are our steps, or what do we think we should be doing to prepare ourselves for this, I want to say, chaos. It's going to be some chaos, without a doubt. And how do we get around it? How do we prepare? How do we help each other? Because the way things are going, it's a weird setup. I've never seen anything like the state of America, which is, America's been in worse places, trust me. But I think this is kind of like looking like some of the worst America's been. And then you got others who say, oh, this is great time. What? Okay. Uncertainty? I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty on the table right now. We definitely know West Suburban Hospital is in peril. I made a comment a week ago that West Suburban had been bought and sold 4 times by 4 different groups, 4 different corporations. in 2 years, it's only been 3 months that's happened. It's been bought and sold 3 or 4 different times in 3 months. That is unheard of. So that tells you there's some real problems going on at West Suburban. I mean, we've kind of known that over the years, but to the point where somebody's bought the place, I don't want to do this. Put it up for sale. Somebody else buys it. Oh, wait, I can see the problem. Nope. Let me sell it. In 3 months, that's, I don't know. don't know. And then every time they had to sell it for a discount, because why would the next person come in? You know what I mean? Why would the next group come in and say, "Oh, I can handle this. I can make a profit on it," and then find out, oh, and that's the question. What is the problem with West Suburban right now? Anybody know?
Isn't that a safety net hospital for us? And I'm asking that because would that not be affected by whatever these cuts to Medicaid and Medicare are going to bring forth?
That will definitely make it a catastrophic situation. But these things have been kind of going on for the last couple of years, and now it's reached critical mass, and it's, I mean, 4 times bought and sold in 3 months. And this is from an ex-official that lives in Oak Park. They used to be on the council in Oak Park. But I don't know I didn't get maybe we'll get somebody from Oak Park on that can tell us, because that's what it's going to look like for the local hospitals. And we know we have about 5 local hospitals, including Mount Sinai, Loretto, St. Elizabeth. I don't know what's the name of the one in Humboldt Park. I can never remember the name of that hospital. I think it's called Humboldt Park Hospital.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, you know the name of it?
You talking about St. Anthony's?
St. Anthony, yeah, I think that's it.
Which one? The one on Division?
No, St. Anthony is across the street from Mount Sinai. So yeah, that's another one. I mean, that's number 6 or something like that, you know. But no, it's one in Humboldt Park, like just south of Division, like a block or so south of Division, right in South Humboldt Park. But nevertheless, you know, your question is
on Western and Division.
Western, that's St. Elizabeth. On Western.
Oh, so you saying? Oh, you know what? I think you're talking about Prime Care. I think is one called Prime. Oh, are you talking about the one on Hearst?
Yeah, it's like
Hearst and Western.
It's like 1 block south of Division and about 2 blocks east of Sacramento.
You know what? I think I know it. I think I actually went to the orthopedic specialist at that one, the one that you're talking about.
Is it Swedish Covenant?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Right, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So we're talking Swedish Covenant, St. Elizabeth, St. Anthony, Mount Sinai, West Suburban, Loretto. What is that? 6 hospitals that, you know, most of us pretty much don't go to, but what about the people that do, that have no other choice? That, you know, what happens to them? Everybody gets funneled to the county, and the county gets overtaxed and burdened. You know, there are quite a few hospital in that, what do you call it, the hospital district. There are quite a few there that people can go to. I guess that will be, but the problem with that is, you know, trauma and emergency situations. Sometimes people, they can't make it that far, you know, so something to really, really think about. And just not only the hospitals are in peril, we're looking at, you know, Barry's been talking about this and some others, you know, food. You know, what if food becomes an issue? I was looking at something earlier, I guess in Gaza, there's food shortages. People are going hungry. They're fighting with pans. I'm looking at, wow, they're throwing food over a wall and 200, 300, 400, 500 people are fighting with buckets and pans trying to get food. I could not understand what was going on until I read the caption. But, you know, America, we surplus so much. And we subsidize so much when it comes to food, and you know, I don't want to say it couldn't happen to us, but there's a great possibility there could be shortages. I mean, there was a threat when with this tariffs that there was going to be some shortages, and many of the ships were just sitting in China and other places, but we didn't really see it. Somebody said they seen them in Walmart. Shelves were becoming bare, but I didn't see it. So, hey, we just need to be aware. That's what I'm saying. What else is on the docket with this new bill? Because that's what we're really talking about. The bill that's the BBB, I think they call it, and I call it the big bullshit bill. But hey, that's what I wanted to do, D. I wanted you to try to dive into it. If you had anything that shows sections that we could talk about, it's posted somewhere, right?
Wait, what's posted?
The bill, the BBB bill.
Oh, the bit. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can find something like that. I was gonna say too. I just left the mayor's fireside chat over at Friendship Baptist, where he was giving out a whole bunch of statistics about some successes he's having. So important to talk about, especially crime. They say crime and law in Austin.
That's what he said.
24% lowest number since. He said 60 something.
Right now, I'm giving to you. Yeah, he said it's down 60%.
24%.
Yeah.
In Austin.
Well, I mean, I guess how you look at it, you can frame anything and make it look like a Picasso, but is it a Picasso?
Yeah. I say it's important to talk about how he's doing. He coming up. He's 2.5 years in. Re-election is pretty much started already. So.
No, I'm saying is his numbers coming up? That's what you're saying?
No, I said it's important to talk about him too.
Oh.
Get a gauge for what people think about the job he's done in 2.5 years.
Right. Well, I mean, it'll be his midterm, right?
Yeah.
In so many words. But I honestly believe, how do I put this? We have to think about this in the terms of what's better. I know everybody's upset about certain things, but the reality is, what is better? What can we consciously say is better? What do we have to compare to? And right now, I don't see anybody. There's some talk about Mendoza, which could just be talk anyway. Because what's their value? So we really need to think about who can we actually compare to? There's not anybody to compare. Unless there's somebody that comes out of the woodwork. They come out of the woodwork, yeah. We got something to say, but what about Willie? I heard Willie is, I don't know, somebody mentioned Willie Wilson to me today. And
Willie Wilson running.
Well,
come on,
Willie. Willie's been known to run a few races here and there, and he sure knows the money. So hey, he could turn it up and turn it out. But but that's another thing. Willie hasn't really established who he really is, or has he? That's the question. Has he really established and said, this is the party that and he really doesn't need to do. We don't need to do that because it's nonpartisan, right?
Right.
But people are going to put you in a position where he has to He has to claim it. But yeah, see if you can pull up something on that bill, because that's what we want to dive into. Some of the components of this bill and how it will affect us as a people, people on the west side, the people who are in Austin, so forth and so on. How does this bill trickle down and affect us all? That's a big question in my mind. What you say there, Miss J? How you doing? How you doing, Miss J?
She look like she sleep.
So all I need to do is get her.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
How is everybody today?
We're doing fine, trying to figure out and find out the right information. What's coming to us in the future with regarding this, political landscape and how they have changed much of the policies, which we kind of knew, that he said he ran on this, he ran on that, which is a good point, because he did run on the fact that he was going to release the files for JFK, and he's going to release the files for what's his name, Epstein files, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, whoa, I won't do that because my name's in there, and I'm in there, and everything else. So I don't know what he was. I'm gonna point the picture of everybody in the classroom, other than me. The kid sitting in the lower right corner with the bat in his hand, and the teacher laying on the ground with blood around his head.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna talk about that in the picture. We're just gonna talk about all the other kids that look normal in the picture. But we're not gonna talk about that being in the picture. So somebody, I mean, tell me, how can you run on things and then you start backpedaling on the things that you ran on when you didn't think it through? I know presidents have been known to evolve, as they say, but that ain't even evolution. That's a revolution. He went against his own.
So I found some of the, let's say, key provisions that are likely to affect Chicagoans.
Wow.
All right. So it says the bill imposes Medicaid work requirements. Most adults have to work 80 hours a month to receive Medicaid. It says it limits retroactive benefits, increases service copays, and reduces provider taxes. And those measures are projected to remove millions of people from being eligible for Medicaid.
So this sounds like a anti-Obama bill. What is it called? Obamacare situation.
Well, he always said that he opposed it and he was going to tear it down.
Yeah, but
no, this is not Obamacare. This is totally wrong.
No, you're saying it sounds like he rolling back Obamacare. And I said what Trump said was he always opposed it and he was going to do something about it.
No, what he's doing, and see, black people need to start getting offended about this. It's quite disgusting to me. Not all black people are on Medicaid. More white people are on this stuff, and they not working. They're not doing anything. I got people in my family that I know personally. They buy jewelry, chains, and weed, and they buy restaurant food, and they capable of working, and they've been getting checks, I promise you, since the late 90s, early 2000s. Everybody on this call, if you a black person and you from the struggle, you know people who is taking advantage of the system.
So let me ask you a
Come on now, let's stop playing games.
So let me ask you a question. You got white people in your family?
Yes, I do have white people in my family, and I love them to death.
So those are the ones you speak of, right?
You said what?
Those are the ones that you are speaking of, because you identified that white people are the biggest culprits.
They are the biggest culprits, but unfortunately, I don't have those type of white people as family members. I wouldn't mind having some of those, but the ones I do have, they are black, and they get over on the government. They get over. Now, don't get me wrong, not all of them, but most of them are. They ain't never. Dr. Reuters will tell you, we got people in our family. We ain't never seen these people work. We ain't never seen them work, and they been getting money from the government. And Trump is putting the hammer to that. And more white people will be affected by that than anything. And if we're gonna talk anything about somebody running on something that they said and promised, we need to start from the house, from home, because we got our own people that I will not name that who run on things. Oh, I'm not gonna do this, and go ahead and do it. And if you don't speak on them, hold on, what's going on?
Well, the situation was based on what Dr. Dre said, that he had meant to recall Obamacare, and I said, although the Congress had overruled it several times, they overruled, trying to do that. So I thought it was a dead horse. But to beat a dead horse, and people are managing, and people are healthy, I wonder what the statistics show as far as a nation. Are we creating more healthier people, which in turn means we can be more productive?
Oh, 100%, Steve. You know, RFK, John F. Kennedy's nephew, he's enacting certain things, regulations on vaccines, regulations like when you see these kids walking around and they eating these flaming hots or drinking these Gatorades with the red dye, they taking that out of products. Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Little Debbie's, all these companies are scared because in the Trump administration, the head of the health organization, RFK, he getting rid of a lot of those things that's in the food that's making us fat. He's like, man, this stuff is bad. These kids walking around eating hot Cheetos and the Cheeto dust.
I don't know if he has capabilities to take it away.
He already took what's it called, Dre? Red 40?
Yeah, Red 40.
He did that. That's under the Trump administration. He did that.
What cabinet is he in? I'm not sure. I thought it was like health or something like that.
The Trump cabinet, the health administration Trump cabinet.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what
it is. That's what it is. And he helping out all your nephews and your nieces and your babies be healthy.
I thought he was just like the Surgeon General type stuff.
No, he head over health. A lot of these companies are scared. They like, man, RFK said we gotta take this out of our product. Kids love to buy stuff that's red and shiny. Come on now.
Well, there's some validity to that, because in Europe they refuse to use those products.
Oh yeah, you 100% right, Steve. When I worked for Pepsi, I was at I promise you, Steve, I was on North Avenue in Cicero at that I think it's Food for Less right there. I was at that Food for Less, and I'm doing I'm doing all the Pepsi drinks. I'm fixing them up. I'm rotating the dates. You know what I'm saying? So I see a couple, and they taking pictures of my stuff. I say, hey, what y'all doing? Because I'm thinking they little terrorists or something. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, we're from the UK, and we're just so fascinated by how much flavors you guys have. I'm like, oh, y'all don't have this? She's like, oh, heavens no. We can't have all of these sugars. It's illegal to have these sugars. It's illegal to have the amount of sugar in Coca-Cola. So they was buying them and bringing them overseas like it was cocaine. I promise you. Couldn't make it up.
I don't know what's more illegal. What's going on, what they said, or you doing a British accent? Because that shit was funny as hell, I'm going to tell you.
Hey, listen, I'm a jack of all trades, man. Hey, I'm telling y'all, man, hire me for something, man.
What's
yeah.
happening? Hello, hello, hello.
On my mom, Walter,
What's
we
up?
BD.
What's your
I'm here.
yeah, we see.
You know, Steve, I'm not adverse to the fact about having most people who wants Medicaid to work 20 hours a week. Okay with that. But my problem with that is who's going to take care of the kids? Because most of the women on welfare got kids. They're not going to give them any money for child care. So what are they going to do with the kids?
So let's be clear. So you're saying Medicare is welfare?
Medicaid. I'm sorry, Medicaid.
Medicaid.
For some daycare centers, make some money.
Yeah, but if you making working 20 hours a week, daycare is what, like $200 or $300 a day?
No, set up a daycare at the house.
You gotta have license for that if you want to be legal. You can't just go and say, "Oh, I'm gonna take in people kids." You can't do that.
Yeah, but if you working 20
Can
hours
I
a week,
add?
there's a way around that.
Can I
How?
add? Can
Show
I add
me.
one of the? Can I add one of the pieces to one of the pieces to the BBB also is they cut SNAP funding. It's going to be capped now, and then there's going to be additional work requirements. Like I also believe you have to work 20 hours a week to qualify for SNAP or something like that. And then Illinois also has to pick up some of the costs now of SNAP. And it says that there's about 300, I'm sorry, it says there's about 3.4 million Chicagoans on Medicaid and 2 million that are on SNAP.
And so what are old people supposed to do? We can understand young people that are capable out there and work. And let's be real with it. Old people can't get jobs because the people that are in charge are not trying to hire old people. They don't even, they discriminate. What's the rationale? What's the move with that? I mean, or am I looking at this the wrong way? This is only people that are under the age of 40. Or
Does it affect people over 40? I'm not sure of the details on that.
I mean, why would you want somebody 65 years of age to go and work? I mean, let's say not 65. What's retirement? 62
65, 65. No, it's 65. It's 65. They was trying to go to 75.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's okay if they want to work and they're capable, but let's look at the reality of life. Most people, they've worked pretty much 35, 40 years of their lives already. Now you tell them to work another 10 plus just to satisfy something to keep them healthy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll live longer if they work more, but I don't get me wrong. I'm agreeing with you. I just think as black people, we should just come together and take care of our older people.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. But
the government shouldn't be doing that. The option is all of us take care of our older people, the people on this line.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How do we plan for this? Because many people that are of a certain age, they need special dietary care, they need special medical care. We're not even going to talk about medicine. Somebody said that in the hospital, if you were to get a Tylenol pill, one pill, it would cost you $80.
Damn.
If you were to buy your own Tylenol, it would cost you approximately $4.99, which still is a lot, unless they mean the whole bottle. I think a whole bottle of Tylenol is like $5, right?
A lot of money, man.
Yeah, $80 for a bottle or one. It doesn't even matter. $80 is a lot just for pain relief. Isn't that what Tylenol? Yes, pain relief. But on the real side, we see, in the city of Chicago, we see thousands of people just passing by us a day. We don't pay any attention to the fact that 1,000 people can just be laying on the street. Just something like that could possibly be. I remember he was doing a march over by Kedzie and Madison about 3 years ago, and they turned onto I think Troy, and they ran into a little tent city, and they saw a guy sitting there in a chair, just died. Couldn't have been more than 10, 15, and it kind of shocked everybody that was involved because he had a friend that was standing over there, sitting with him, and it was like, do you know your friend is dead? People are dying on the streets. I remember it blew them away because who expected that? But we have to be very, cognizant of what possibly can be, especially in a city with so many people. And I see guys. You know what I know when I go over in like Garfield? I'm not gonna say Garfield, even in Austin. Like if you go by places that got liquor stores, you just see tons of people just hanging out there, posted up on the walls, got crates sitting on them. It's like what they say, a pollen for bees. Like it's a hive or something. And typically, in that group, you'll see somebody bent over. I don't know why they're like they make 90-degree angles out of their legs and their back, and they just bend over. And I'm like, I know this guy is killing these people because I watched them for about 2 minutes. I'm thinking, how long are they going to be bent over like that? And the substances that they're taking, how do we get help for them?
Yeah, that's that fentanyl.
Right.
You can't help drug addicts. Drug addict gonna be a drug addict. From somebody who dealt drugs, drug addicts gonna do what drug addicts do. However you gonna, I know people personally that I known them all my life, and they died, and they're younger than me, and they died, and they just get hooked on drugs. And I feel like those are, I gotta be 100. Those are the weak-minded people. They are going to get hooked on those drugs. Ain't nothing you could do with a drug addict.
But do you not only believe it's part of the mind that is weak, but their immune, not their immune system, but their actual biological makeup? I think something hits them harder or attaches to their cells, faster, harder than maybe some others,
Well, I had a cousin and he was addicted to first it started off weed, smoking weed, then Black and Mild. See, a couple of years younger than me. He would have been like 35, 36 right now. And he'll always say, man, my mind bad. My mind bad. He'll go right there on Cicero on Heron, go get him that leaf bag, smoke that PCP. They just they could not shake that habit. They just couldn't shake it. And those were the weak-minded of my family. If whoever died of my family from drugs, those was the weak-minded people. That was your fate. As sad as it is.
3 for 25.
What's that?
3 for 25.
3 for the 25. 3 for the. And Walter know. He know about the 3 for the 25. If you come out the 9, you get it for 24.
But my statement when you said there were weak-minded people, I tend to believe the weak-minded people were the ones that was pushing the stuff. Because if your mind was that strong, you would realize what you're doing to people. Number one. Number two, you would realize that you probably could be better than what you are doing what you're doing.
But
I can agree with that too.
But they're saying the PCP is not on the streets are not the real stuff no more. It's like brake fluid.
Brake fluid.
Yeah, there's a rumor that things brake fluid is very flammable.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
If you're gonna take that approach when you say the people on the street, the ones that are selling it, got the problem, you gotta look at all salespeople. I was having this conversation with Dr. Rudis earlier, and we was talking about how when you in sales, you don't got no conscience. you don't see no color. All you see is green. So every salesperson to a certain degree got to be unconscious when they selling something, because they got to sell a product that they may know you don't need this, or this may be more than you can afford, but you still got to push the product regardless. And that's all salespeople and all walks of life.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, I sold death and dismemberment insurance back in like 2015. I had to, and they got scripts. And if they say no, I'm good, I don't want to have insurance, I gotta hit F2, and they got rebuttals, and I gotta convince these people, and I gotta make sure I get 7 sales a day. If you selling something, I don't care who you is, the brother is right. You have no conscience. You doing what you got to do for the quota and for the money.
So what
it's
about
like a commission
that sell stuff for the quota and for the money, but it's still something that's positive, that's going to be helpful and going in the right direction? You know, I mean, for example, people need glasses.
People sell everything: energy, life insurance, even solar panels for your house. Everybody just selling everything.
Yeah, but when we know that things are going to be detrimental to the life of somebody, you know, life or death, that right there sits a little different with me. You know, I can't just say it's part of the script. I kind of go, man.
Yeah, but not every insurance is good. So if they telling me already they got good insurance, I don't care. I'm like, hey, listen, you're going to pay this amount. You're going to pay less for that insurance to get more. But I know deep down they're going to pay more over time, because they're going to increase maybe the interest rate, or they're going to increase their price, or they're going to, you know what I'm saying? Or the company might be phasing out, you know what I'm saying? So
commission. That's a commission.
Okay, let's put the money aside. Some people do things because they're pleasurable. Some people do things because they're forced to, and some people do things because they really enjoy what they do. Not just for pleasure. Not just for pleasure, you know. Pleasure, when I say pleasure, I mean outside of just regular enjoyment, you know. So my thing is it pleasurable to sell somebody something that can kill them or put them in a situation where, you know, I know it's easy to say, hey, I sold what I sold and I got to move on. But at the end of the day, you know, what are the ramifications for the seller? Because I'm telling you, you know, a lot of times people don't believe in karma, but it could be seriously real.
Oh yeah, I don't believe. Karma is not real. Adolf Hitler never got his karma for killing 6 million Jews. The slave America never got their karma for enslaving black people from 1526, and then putting in redlining laws, lying to us about 40 acres and a mule. Karma ain't real. I know people who you did that and they living good lives. Karma is not real. It's just not. No, it's just no. Things will happen to you. Good things happen to good people too. There's no karma associated with that. That's just jargon.
Could be family got benefited from certain things. They're the ones that are getting karma, bad health, and everything.
Yeah, I don't believe in karma. I just don't.
Let's dive into the weeds on this. I'm glad you on here, Walter. For a long time.
Should I leave?
You get the wall on this. So in the black community, drugs have been prevalent for a long time. And I tend to tell people, you know, it's not so much what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. So you live in a white community. How are white people getting all these drugs? And they do buku drugs because they got buku money. So break it down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's different people using different things. Like you got the lawyers, doctors, stockbrokers, they doing cocaine. And then you got the low lives. They have a lot of time on their they got all the time in the world to do the mess up thing. They could fuck up and stuff. So they do the heroin, they do methadone, everything else. And then yes, there's rave parties. They do Molly. They do rave drugs. Special K is big. Back in the 90s was some Drano stuff. They called it Liquid G. That was the 1990s. And then now people are bringing that LSD, but it's a chemical that doesn't come around that often. They make it out of Indiana. CERN's like a chemical. They make TADS, acid. And then PCP is not the real stuff like they had it in the 80s. It's not real no more. So I've seen it. It's all like clumped up. It's not the real stuff from a long time ago.
So my question to you is, all these white people doing all these drugs, what has how do they get away with all this? That's my question. How do they get away with no stigmas put on them? Where you broke it down into social economic categories. It ain't no social economic categories. The only category is you're black, you're on drugs. But you just broke it down into 3 different social economic categories. My question is,
you got people that deal with weed. People deal with weed. I cannot say no to it in the white community. People deal big amounts of weed. But now it's more legal. Now the lobbyists are doing it. Now it's legal. They're dealing in hemp. Now they're doing it weed.
But you know good and well there are a lot of white people out there that ain't buying legal weed.
No, they're not. But some weed now is mixed with fentanyl now. They mixed it with fentanyl. And people are overdosing.
Right? They're looking for that, right?
And even cocaine got fentanyl in cocaine now. So you gotta know your right dealers. There's some dealers that'll dip in fentanyl to make you higher, whatever.
So this is where I'm going with this. So all these white people doing all these drugs in the white community. Why we don't see it? Why they ain't standing on corners? Why they ain't getting arrested? Why they ain't having shootouts?
Look at Walgreens. Somebody in Walgreens family, high up in Evanston, think their son or daughter died.
Yeah, it was the daughter. It was the heir.
Few years back.
No, it's been over.
So it goes in everybody. Even from the suburbs, they come into Chicago to get drugs because they can't get drugs in the suburbs. They have daddy's car. They're dipping into drugs. So
well, you gotta also understand, Steve, no one is more braver than a nigga, an American black nigga. We will stand on the corner and blatantly sell drugs. Now, I got a friend, he's a white boy. His family is Greek, they got good money, they go to Greece. He sold drugs too, but guess what? When he did it, Steve, he did it through connections. He did it through, hey, you know me, I know you, hey, I'll meet you right here, drop it off, and boom, boom, boom. Black people, they so brave, they will stand on. That's why you don't see white people do. I know white boys who do drugs, and they don't sell them how niggas do.
They call each other.
That's
they
the
call
truth.
Somebody on the phone. Say,
exactly.
Are you good?
White people, Steve, this is just the truth. And I know this is gonna hurt. White people got higher IQs than us black people. They got higher IQs.
Man, drunk as hell.
They are smarter people. I make no apology for that statement.
They're the Klansmen out here.
Now, my brother DeAndre Rudis, that's an outlier. He's a unicorn. That boy is a unicorn. He can get up there with them white people. He up there with them. It ain't a lot of us like him.
Unicorn.
Yeah, y'all know that boy a unicorn. Y'all know that. Ain't nobody in y'all family more accoladed than him. Nobody.
This is too much.
He's a unicorn in the neighborhood. Who you know, Steve, that grew up in the Austin community? Hold on, Steve. Who you know that grew up in the Austin community, went through all the Austin school, went through the neighborhood school, became a politician in the neighborhood, bought property in the neighborhood. It's about 9 of us siblings. He the only one who done that.
Brandon
it's an
Johnson.
outlier, Steve. White people just smarter. That's it.
Brandon Johnson is my hero. Come on.
Brandon Johnson, I love the brother, but he be doing some things that I don't like. But I respect Brandon Johnson. I do.
Dr. Rudy is a unicorn. So what does it make you?
Oh, I'm a donkey. I don't mind being a donkey because when he go
what
up,
are
I
you,
go
a
up.
Democrat? That's a donkey.
Yeah. When he go up, I go up. Donkeys get stables too. We get nice stables. I'm cool with my little corner, Steve. I'm cool being the donkey. I'm cool with him being a unicorn. I have no problem with that.
That's crazy, man.
I have no problem with that.
So what am I?
You a unicorn,
elephant?
Steve. You an engineer?
Yeah, I guess. What's his name? Told me that a couple years ago.
You'll bring me on the towels, please.
The
white towels.
Pardon?
You done with the food, Deanna? Oh, you still eating? Deanna, you done?
You talking?
Yeah, you put us back.
I got it.
Put the food back.
Nevertheless, Josh Flynn said that to me about before he passed in 2021, might have been 2020 or something like that. That she said, "Steve, you a unicorn in the community." I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" He said, "They're not black engineers." I'm like, "There are plenty of black engineers." He said, "Not within so many blocks or miles."
No, it ain't. He right. You are a unicorn, Steve. Take your accolade, man. Josh Flynn, RP Flynn, by the way.
But what kind of engineer? There's different kind of engineers.
Hey, if you an engineer and you black, it's a W. We don't just differentiate on which you is. Engineer.
No, there's a mechanical.
No,
electric,
for sure. What you is, Steve?
You knew what he was saying, which is right. That's exactly what I've done over my last 35 years of employment with in the field. But nevertheless, we gotta dive back into this situation. So let's talk about what's on the BBB. What is it? Steve?
What else you got on this thing? The biggest provisions obviously gonna be to Medicaid and SNAP, and then you also got tax provisions where I saw something. It's not on what I'm looking at now, and I saw something before that shows that the higher incomes you make, the more you get back on taxes now, and obviously that used to be flipped the other way around. And then the other piece is, and I gotta look for that piece, the taxes specifically.
I want to know what they're going to do for the
says there's new deductions that can be taken for tips, overtime, auto loan interest, and what's SALT? What's SALT? SALT cap limit. I'm gonna have to look that up.
W?
Yeah, no, SALT cap. It says SALT. I don't know exactly which one that is.
Let's see.
I don't know what SALT is.
Yeah, I don't know what SALT is. So it also, like I say, it gives you new deductions for your tips, overtime, and auto loan interest. But again, it's more skewed to higher earners. So higher earners actually should have a better tax return following the implementation of the BBB situation. And then it rolls back credit limit credits for energy incentives. So solar, wind, and EV, all of that stuff that previous administrations were championing, they're gonna roll back some of the incentives, which could possibly mean that the energy companies go with higher rates, which will, affect poorer communities more so than others. And then it said the other thing is immigration and ICE overall, which is it says that ICE is going to be funded to over 100 billion by 2029.
Wow.
They're going to up the capacity. I don't know how many beds they have currently, but they're going to up to the capacity to 100,000 detention beds and hire 10,000 more ICE agents. So yeah, that's kind of the big emphasis within the bill itself. I mean, obviously there's a lot more. It's a big, very big, robust plan. But that's the main things are Medicaid and SNAP cuts, the changes to the taxes, the energy regulation changes, and ICE changes. So
The ICE
Then
change
what?
can be a little catastrophic because, from my
Steve,
understanding, they've 30 times more. It's gone up 30 times more in the last since whenever. Let's just be realistic. Since whenever they're talking about going up 30 times more. So that's a lot.
Is that your ice cream truck?
But
Ken,
is that a joke?
Ken, ice cream truck.
definitely not talking about ice cream truck.
So Steve,
Yeah.
so Steve, there's any more programs for seniors to get food or no?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out because right now we don't know what direction. What's going to be the safety net? There are going to be thousands and maybe millions, as DeAndre said, millions of people that are going to be without. So what's the safety net? What's the direction? How are they going to be provided for or have some provision?
Don't they have food going to their house? I mean, we got all these not-for-profits in Chicago. They can work with all the grocery stores to give food to the seniors.
Well, the food
The non-for-profits are no longer funded. Funding has been cut for non-profits.
No, would they get food from the grocery stores to fund seniors?
Yeah, you need money to get food, right? So even non-profits pay for food, but they pay at like a price without the taxes, but they're still paying for it. And that payment comes from funding from the government in many parts. Sometimes there's like independent people who, like philanthropists or foundations who give money, and that won't be affected. But any government funds are going to be affected. There also are organizations like independent grocery store owners are able to donate and write it off as a donation for tax purposes, but I don't know if that's been affected yet either.
And what about corporations? Like, let's say... let me just answer the first part of the question. Whatever ongoing, so we kind of know that whatever was in the past is being changed dramatically through government regulations may be affected. So, corporations, they do their bit to get, to pay less in taxes. That's why corporations donate, so they can get a tax write-off. But corporations, corporations, I don't know how, I don't think that anyone has seen yet Donald Trump show his cards about how he's going to handle that stuff. He could do nothing. He could change it dramatically. We don't know. And the biggest not-for-profits are making all the money right now.
No, there's no money. There really is no money. If you go to Springfield, even on a state level, all of us, every group of people every nonprofit is at the state level scrambling to try to get some funds because, the pipeline is constricted, so I think maybe there are foundations. Foundations are different than nonprofits. A foundation is money put aside usually by an independent an individual or a family, and it's done in their name. So they're mostly wealthy philanthropists who will remain unaffected. We think. We don't know for sure what laws he might change in regards to their distribution of, donations. So
I'm saying
he's
like
right.
Gates.
Stephen DeAndre's got it pretty pegged. They're pretty on top of
Like the Gates Foundation. That's one of the biggest. They're not those big billionaires. They got not
I
for
hope they don't
profits.
change it too much. That's what I'm trying
right,
to go
DeAndre. I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm trying to go in philanthropy next. That's the world I want to get into. It's time to get next to the people that got the bread, man. I'm tired of playing around now. I'm tired. I'm tired. I need to go be around money. I need to go be around the money now. We gotta bring it in. We gotta bring it home. We gotta bring it home.
There are tons of people that have a multitude of money. That's really where we're at right now. You got people out here that have so much money, it could last them 100 lifetimes and still be ultra rich. And what it's only 1%.
But they don't. That's not enough for them. They're breaking necks to try to get more.
What's the end game? That's my question. Is it to have all the wealth so they can give half of it to the rest of the world, or
that is greed? That's greed.
That's what a lot of them are doing. That's why they have these foundations and stuff. They got more than they can use, and they are involved in a lot of these foundations, giving and going to be giving even more away because all these social programs are going away.
And they're also doing for their tax reasons. They give money to their not-for-profits.
So if it goes,
but look at this. But hang on a second, Steve. Let me put this out there. I mean, I'm not trying to rattle the cage, right? But if Donald Trump's already changing the tax codes to benefit the millionaires, the billionaires, right? He's already changing tax codes so that they squeeze us more for more money from them. Now, if the tax codes are changed to lower their rate, their obligation to pay taxes, then that means that pretty soon, or it may impact on their need to give money away to charity for the purpose of tax, credits. Because that's why they donate right now, so they can write it off and keep the bulk of their money. But if the tax codes are changed, pretty soon or possibly they won't need to donate quite as much. People are greedy for a reason. They want to keep it in their pockets. So the speculation of all these people who have so much money that they're setting up foundations and giving the money to foundations, that's not real common. It's not real common. People who are that greedy tend to want to just keep the money in their family. I don't know how many lifetimes they think they're going to live. Can't take it with you in the grave, But
my question is it possible that the ultra wealthy could become the new social service centers for people that don't have?
You think wealthy people care about you and me?
I think they're probably
Hey, Steve, can I say something? Let me say something, Steve.
WO.
Go ahead, Walt.
I think they're part of the New World Order. That's all what that is. Because we're on the bottom and they're on the top. They control everything.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, so, don't get me wrong. Like, the wealthy definitely keep getting wealthy. And sometimes, when they say life give you lemons, you make lemonade. And this is what I was saying last Sunday on the show. It's like, yes, the big, beautiful bill goes against And again, if it was up to me, I wouldn't. The big beautiful bill wouldn't be as aggressive to affecting poor people. I'm against that. You feel me? I'm wholeheartedly against Medicaid and all that. Older people getting hurt, all that. But what I'll say is, when you gotta invest. You just got to. You know what I'm saying? You just got to. One thing that's gonna be here while you living is investing, taxes, and death. Those are investing is guaranteed. I'm not saying you're gonna make a whole lot of money, but it's been guaranteed since 1920 when they made the stock market. It's been there. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of look at it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I picked the wrong year.
Steve.
You said what, Steve?
Okay.
Picked the wrong year because when the market crashed shortly after the 20s, people start killing themselves.
29.
Right.
The depression came in.
Right, but they killed themselves probably after it crashed. So what I'm saying is, in 2008, people killed themselves because of the crash. But again, crashes will happen. Things go down. Gravity always gonna bring you down, but there's always the up too. So when we get these bills, we need to explain to our people, hey, this bill sucks for you. In order to alleviate this pressure from this bill, do X, Y, Z. And if I'm telling you to do X, Y, Z and you don't do it, and then 4 years later, come on now, stop that.
You know, in order to invest money, you have to have money. A lot of these people don't have the kind of money where they can invest and throw away on a get rich quick scheme.
No, it's not. You told us you had 80,000 a year. You told us you was making 80,000 a year a couple months ago. So I know you can invest.
I didn't tell you that lie.
I heard it.
No,
Y'all said y'all was retired and
you
y'all had
paranoid. You hearing voices because I didn't tell you nothing like that. But a lot of people on fixed income and they don't have the kind of money it takes to invest and gamble. That's what you're doing. You're actually gambling.
I agree.
Steve.
Sure. Go ahead, Walter.
I think 1929 when it was bust, the money didn't just disappear. The very few people were rich from the stock market. Same as 2008. Not all the money just didn't disappear. The money went to certain people that know what to do with the money. Because either way, you could bet on the market when it's going to go down. If you know that the market's going to go down and crash, people are going to bet on it.
And that's what's happening right now. Donald Trump is signaling what he's going to do with the tariffs and the market is reacting. And some people are losing vast amounts of money, and some people who are in his little clique are making vast amounts of money. So
and you could make that money too, sister.
Yeah. If I had the investment money, I would.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Do you have? Hold on. Do you have $23? Do you have $23?
At the moment, yes, I have $23.
I got an index fund for you that has been performing over 10% over the past 10 years. If you can, I got you.
Excuse me. First off, let me say a few things.
Watch this, Walter.
You're a stockbroker
now? May I speak? The
Yes.
gentleman was speaking.
My bad, Queen. I'm sorry, Queen.
No, please forgive me. Let me just say
forgive me.
I would have responded to your questions. You didn't have to speak so aggressively. That's all. My name is Diana, not Queen.
Oh, I'm a black man. We talk aggressive. You know how we is.
Hi, Diana.
Yeah, and I am a Latina woman.
So you should and y'all very aggressive. So come on now, stop that now. Go on somewhere, Diane.
Please,
Diane, go.
Don't judge me. Thank you. Who told me don't?
Go ahead, Diane.
Okay. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to be on, Steve. I would, I have taken, I'm blind. So when an opportunity came along to invest in technology for people without vision, I invested in that technology, in that particular stock, right? And, it's not something I can afford to do, but I thought it was worthy. Since it does affect me personally, I specifically wanted to see again, right? So the technology did develop. I actually have the item that I invested in, all right? But at the same time, I didn't make a dime, right? And a matter of fact, I lost money. And it's like the woman said, I think that was Miss Jacobs, who said, that's gambling. And it is. The stock market, we have to realize, is not the only tool to use to invest.
What did you invest in?
It's just Orcam.
Diane,
I don't think you know what it is.
Never, Diane.
Please. I don't need Scott's counseling. I'm answering a question, and this isn't about the stock market, right? And I don't want to take up all the time.
I'll respond afterwards. Okay.
What's the name of it? Orcam?
So anyway, gentlemen.
Yeah, see, she don't want to hear that.
I'd like to. No, it's not that I want to hear the truth. My money is done. I don't need, if I wanted investment information, I would go to a professional. Are either
and that's why you lost your money, because you didn't.
Are either of you men professional? Do you have a degree? Do you have?
Yes, I learned from DeAndre Rudis. Yes, I learned from him.
Okay, all right.
So you gonna deny my brother? You gonna deny my brother?
I would listen to DeAndre because he knows how to behave like a gentleman, and I don't waste my time otherwise. But I will listen to DeAndre, right, DeAndre? And you know it. But I won't listen to him because he comes off wrong. I have that option. He comes off wrong. Work on his other skills, DeAndre.
You asked did he have a degree? He does. In bullshit. He got a big one in that one, boy. He got a BA.
Well, I would listen to DeAndre.
Like a Dateline, or are we just talking?
No, because we were talking about trying to come up with some solutions on the catastrophic.
Can I just
Steve?
Yes.
Did you see that flooding on the south side recently?
Yeah, I got calls about it. Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure it all out because I didn't
what
hear.
What did you figure out?
Well, because typically when it's catastrophic, and I hate to keep using that term, 311 or 911 would have an influx of calls. So I haven't heard anything from the group because, the group that we're involved with, the Westside Long-Term Recovery Group.
What's so hard? What's so hard? The infrastructure is bad. The sewer system.
No, because again, we haven't received information. I heard from several people out south and spread out the south side that they had massive flooding, over 4-6 inches of water in their basins. But I don't know if it came from the sewers. I don't know if it came from the gutters. Bad maintenance to the homes. I don't. I'm waiting to hear the whole layout. Now, were there viaducts that flooded? Absolutely. Were there's some municipal buildings that were flooding in south suburbs, I think? Absolutely. But where this was sporadic or, what is the situation? I'm surprised no one from our group on the west side has called me.
Well, you gotta look at a building, to look at something. You gotta look at the blueprints. You gotta see how big is the pipe underneath the house, and then you make it bigger, or you go from that. It's very simple math. You gotta look at the piping. You gotta put a camera down there. If it's clogged.
Oh, where on the south side was this flooding? Was it in the South Suburban?
Midway, over near Western and 55th going south. It was kind of jumping around from the calls I got, but I'm still not. Again, to me, the barometer is when you hear it from 911, 311. When they get enough calls that come in, they say, boom, here it is. This is latest news. We got an influx of these calls.
Yeah. I would say my company, we've been doing a lot of those Southwest jobs. I actually did one yesterday. Somebody had about an inch of water in their basement. I was at 5227 South Newland. So around in that area, even when I was driving through there, they still had a bunch of water clogged up in the sewers and stuff. So yeah, it was bad out south.
Yeah, that's around Midway. That's the backside.
Yep.
That's what I said. I've heard about that. But again, the numbers have not come in. How you just said it right there. I'm sure if that one, did you notice a lot of people putting things outside?
Oh yeah, when I was working at the job I was at yesterday, I seen another project manager. They were working on somebody else that was literally around the corner. Even the customer, I was working on, they were saying that somebody that they had quite a few people called them and was asking them like, yo, who are y'all working with so they can come help us, get the stuff out our basement. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And I'm pretty sure we should have work. Like right now they switched our schedule. So I'm working for the next I work 6 days on and 1 day off. So every day this week, I assume that, we'll be working something major out there because of the flooding. But it might last for like the next 3 weeks, especially if it keep raining. So
it'll be local, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Well, hate to hear that because now we have recorded a pattern. It seems to me that, and use Barry's term, it seems to me that July is the month to be very leery about the weather because it seems like every July now we get these big downpours, and when they come with ferocity, and it's like, it's like that same cloud is just hovering around the earth until it gets to Chicago in July. But you know what? I'm just going to segue a little bit off of this. The thing that amazes me is that how are these insurance companies, how are they managing with all of these claims?
They're
not.
The insurance rate.
They're not. They're not. The insurance companies are not handling this. People are paying out of their pockets because insurance don't. A lot of people who live in Chicago do not have flood insurance because that's not something. Even the people who home I was doing, and I was talking to them about it. They pay like $5,000 out of their pocket for us to come out there and do the work that we did because they don't have the insurance coverage because they was explaining to me like, yeah, we called insurance, but they said, we didn't have that little addition, which is flood coverage. So a lot of people, if you're not paying out of pocket, you're not going to get anything from insurance because no one, anticipated, for it to flood in Chicago. So they don't have it.
May I just kind of update that a little bit? Okay, that makes sense because I do have friends who are in insurance and they own their own State Farm agencies. And State Farm, and when one does, they all do because it's not regulated. Homeowners insurance is not, auto insurance is not regulated, forgive me. Homeowners insurance is required as well when you first purchase a house. But in any case, I just got notification that State Farm is upping their rates. They're reviewing their contracts with people and upping their rates because of all of this unpredictable weather. And they could go up significantly. I called my own agent and asked, how is this going to affect me? And I'm waiting to see what they shake down my current bill to be. And yes, I did ask about flood insurance because I know that is separate. So, if you have and I do recommend homeowners insurance for everybody. But
wait, so I want to get this straight.
Yeah, the rates go up.
Right.
Go ahead. Questions, DeAndre? thought he had a question.
I think he meant mute. I think he's on mute or something.
Oh no, I don't know. He probably dropped out. Somebody dropped. I see him.
Oh.
But I can't hear him.
You can. So I came across the information because our local what do you call it? Our community page put a big post up about how State Farm was, drastically increasing its rates. So that's when I called my agent right away. I was like, "What's going on?" And they explained a little bit to me, and now I'm waiting to see what my bill will be, and then take action from there. Yeah, if you have homeowners insurance, call your agent. He's right. A lot of the times it doesn't cover.
Yep.
Chicago has a lot of old buildings. They never do some PMs on all the buildings.
Okay. Yeah,
that's why I'm trying to determine what happened.
Oh my God.
But it sounds to me from what Deontay just said that the company he's working for, they're getting calls. So it must have been sewer backup, because the rider that they speak of that many people don't have on their insurance policy is called water and sewer backup rider. It's not flood. It's not flood because you have to live in a floodplain, and a floodplain has to be designated by the federal government or the local municipal government, I think. But nevertheless, that's typically how it rolls out. Let's get back to, again, when we hear about this catastrophic crappy bill, we really need to think about, because Diana and I, we were talking the other day about MRIs. What do they call them?
MREs.
Yeah, rations. They're for emergencies, and people are buying them just in case, in case there's a food issue. Can that really be a food issue? Man, it can happen fast with the amount of people that we actually feed in Chicago and the greater Chicagoland area. But we need to be very cognizant of what we can do and what can look. This is so strange. So this is probably a clue. I have in my backyard or my deck, I have a bunch of flowers growing, and all of a sudden I started noticing a weird plant growing inside the flower bed planter, and they're peppers. They're like green peppers, green and red peppers. I don't know where they came from. I just been watering and things, and I noticed there are about 3 or 4 green peppers. Did the seeds get mixed in with something else? I have no idea. And I typically don't do gardening type of stuff. I really don't do gardening. The only thing I do is cut grass. That's it. But nevertheless, I got peppers the size of 50-cent piece. If anybody can remember a 50-cent piece, or a dollar, whatever, silver dollar, if anyone can remember a silver dollar. But that kind of made me feel like, man, food. You can grow food. You might not have a lot, but you could, I guess. Could grow enough to supplement certain things. But go ahead.
Yeah. So we celebrated our birthday. Our organization celebrated our birthday Saturday, and Fuentes had one of her, because they were out at a retreat, she sent one of her staffers, and she sat with me and we were talking, and first I told her, first thing I want you to know is I don't support the grocery tax. Please let Fuentes know that. And she's like, yeah, we don't support it either. So, okay, we're good with that. Then we started talking about all this stuff about the food, right? And basically, here's what farmers are saying out there in the rural areas, right? They can't pick their produce. because the ICE keeps harassing the migrant workers, right? The migrant workers are there just to pick the fruit and vegetables, right? And the last time that they made trouble and they just caused disruption with the farm workers, 75 billion tons of food rotted in the fields, right? And that was a short stint of trouble, of disruption. So now they're thinking, if Donald Trump, because the farmers are actually asking, hey, let us have the workers, otherwise, we can't get the produce out, because people, if they do come to work, they stay for 2 hours. The first break, they're gone, or after that first day, they don't come back. It's hard damn work. So anyway, the food will rot in the fields. Well, Trump doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. So it's not so much, that the tariffs are the only danger to us. The tariffs will affect incoming and transportation, getting the food out. But even internally in our own country, we won't be able to harvest the produce, and it'll rot in the fields. And that will mean the cities and other areas, the towns, the cities don't get food. And that's the real, that's why I started talking to Steve about MREs. And I've been hearing about MREs for about a year. And so I keep asking someone, come on, let's look into this, but nobody does. Now we're at this point, and I'm just thinking, there's a couple of reasons that we could be coming into food shortages. So, we need to be
Can I say
meals
something?
ready. They are. Can I finish, please? Meals ready to eat. They are rations. The military uses them. They're filled with the right requirements so that you stay healthy, right? That's what they feed the soldiers. And anyway, so when I talked to Fuentes' staffer, I told her, look, in Ohio, they do something for the community. They plant fruit trees and nut trees so the community can harvest that fruit and those nuts. That's healthy food. And they plant them on empty lots and put somebody to maintain, and the community harvests from there. So we need some of those. Fuentes said, I'll look into it. Then I said, and we need to go back to victory gardens. And I bet all the young people don't know what a victory garden is. But I know our older adults probably know that in World War II, because everything was going towards the war effort, people planted their own gardens to feed their own families. They were called victory gardens. And almost every person had a victory garden so that they didn't put excess demand on food products because it was all used for the war effort. If it worked then, it can work now. That's all I got.
I said that 2 weeks ago. Same
I wasn't there 2 weeks
information.
ago.
I said it. Victory gardens, fruit trees in the parks. Chicago's built on farmland. Onions, that's what Chicago's from. Onions, smelly onion. So we got fertile land here. And the harvest is the biggest harvest ever this year. The biggest. From soybeans, everything.
So I would like to say, if anyone in the Austin area knows how to can or preserve food, I sure would like to get to know them a little better, so that, a couple of little jars of this and that preserved would be helpful in times of, need.
First, you gotta sterilize the mason jars.
That's funny you say that. My neighbors put out about 10 of them in the alley.
Yeah, you sterilize the mason jars. Then you get your fruits.
Yeah, my mother used to do it. My mom used to do it. It's a lot of work. I know that.
We make our own jam from our own fruits.
Nice.
We've been doing that for over 30 years. Over 30 years. Sterilize the mason jars. Make sure everything's cooked. We just put them in there. Boom. And then those things pop. So the lids pop. Boom. It's ready.
So there you go. You got some solutions. That's what we're talking about.
But they're not really solutions. They've been there.
Well, but people are not aware of these things. That's my whole point. No one's aware of these things.
Well, Victory Gardens, that's in their history books.
Yeah.
And they have.
I think you failed to see the connection, Steve. I think you're talking to a closed door. So.
No, ain't no
no. You talking to a person who
Hello?
ain't trying to survive and struggle, like talking about preserving beans and maple syrup and shit. Come on, bro. Stop playing. Invest that money. You feel me? And again, like I was saying earlier, for all of my peoples on here, especially my black peoples, man, don't invest in one stock. That's not how you invest. You don't invest money in one stock. You invest in the ETF. It covers or the S&P 500. It covers a range of stocks.
Y'all?
If you invest in individual stocks, you 100% more than likely will lose your money. Don't you ever
Can y'all
do
hear
that.
me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
Cool. Yeah, it wasn't working before.
Well, we're not talking about stocks
Hold
right now.
on, Diane. You just talked for 5 minutes, Diane. Come on now, stop.
Hold on, let DeAndre go. Go ahead.
Nah, I just wanted to show y'all my garden, man. You know what I'm saying? That's cucumbers. That's watermelon.
All right.
That's squash.
That's
lettuce.
That's the deal, DeAndre.
That's beans.
I got
That's
my own.
carrots.
I got banana peppers.
That's tomatoes, and I got some already.
Now, how long did it take to grow this?
How many people have a garden in this group?
I have a garden.
Closed door has one.
I have a garden.
Closed door has one.
I have tomatoes. I have tomatoes, cabbage, cucumbers.
Is that 4 people with gardens?
I have a garden, the beautiful garden.
Is that 4 people? Steve,
And
how
I
many
have a
people is that?
garden.
About 7.
That's nice. That's real good. No wonder no one's worried about it.
I got
You got
cucumbers.
yourself covered. That's a good job.
One thing about us black people, we do what we got to do.
I got gardens.
Wait. You got a garden, Moselle? We ain't talking about growing weed either now.
I told you, if my brother got a garden, I got it. Whatever he got, I got.
I got a nice garden.
All right. I mean, we got people that know how to.
To Diana's point, the reason why I really got into gardening was really seeing like I need to learn this because the way that things are going, man, eating off that land is the way to go, for real. So
that's good. That's good. I remember a couple years ago when he was working out at the Harambe garden. He really didn't know anything about gardening.
No, for real.
Hey, Steve, can I say something? And I'll be quick to everybody. So my mother, when she got married the second time, she married this man his mother gave my mom a cookbook from Betty Crocker. It was from the 1950s. So I was looking through this cookbook, and this cookbook told us how to cook possum, how to cook squirrel, how to cook pigeons. Man, I mean, when I looked at that, and to me, that was inconceivable back then. That was in the 70s. And this book was from the 1950s, and I thought to myself, we better save this book. We'll never starve if something happens. I still got that book down in the basement.
Hey,
and I might have to break it. We might have to break it out.
Would you eat possum?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Would you eat possum?
I've never eaten a possum. I have no idea what it takes to eat possum or anything about the animal. I would have to research that. Right.
Possum. Somebody told me it tastes like pot roast.
Would you eat it, Steve?
No, I ain't doing possum.
I mean,
you know what? People when they're starving have been known to eat rats. People when they're starving have been known to eat each other.
Right.
So think on that before you speak. You might choose to starve, but
we're killed. We're eating people.
All right. And and all over the world, people eat different things.
Hold on, Tiny got
In Peru, they eat guinea pigs.
Yeah, that was Ecuador. They eat guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they look like real pigs. They're big, though. Like pigs.
Yeah, they eat guinea pigs. People eat bushmeat. People eat rats, cats, dogs.
I have a missionary friend who used to eat bush rat when she was in Papua New Guinea.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
Was she didn't share some with you or no?
I'm not a missionary. She is. I was never in Papua New Guinea.
So funny.
Why am I funny? I'm not funny. I'm not a clown.
Yeah, but you just said that
I don't know.
No, Steve, how come they never done this? We have all these parks, right? We built libraries in the parks and all this other stuff. How come they don't put no fruit trees and a garden in these parks? I bet
Why don't
you
you ask?
probably during World War II they probably had that. And you,
I think it might have.
Researching for sure.
Now, and they have food. They have food now that you can eat in parks. In Douglas Park, they have all kind of things you can eat, and it's people who go out and forage and eat those things.
Like, for example, what's in Douglas Park?
Okay, now I forget exactly what it was, but it was a lady who wrote a book about Douglas Park and all the different things in there that you could eat.
yeah, zucchini plants, you could eat them.
Mm-hmm.
Zucchini plants, the flowers, you could eat them.
The only reason I think that possibly the parks don't put vegetation that's edible in it, as much as that, I mean, obviously there is some in Douglas Park. I think it has to do with control, rodent control. You know, because if you had a lot of vegetation, then it probably have a lot more animals. You know,
Rabbits and mostly bees will come because we had a pear tree. We had a lot of bees.
now I'll probably eat a rabbit. I never really had it. Tasted it once.
Yeah, you're gonna eat my rabbit?
I mean, no, not really, but if I had to eat
rabbit is good. I've had it once.
Rabbit?
So is duck.
Yeah, what I had
that one too.
I like duck.
I think they're beautiful animals.
I like ducks and I like deers. They're good.
But I don't think that's where we're going to be going. We're going to have a lot of rabbits and ducks and deers in the city of Chicago. And I think it could get to be a little bit out of whack if people were duck hunting and deer hunting and rabbit hunting in the city of Chicago because, you know, we already got enough high-powered weapons, you know, to hurt everybody around you. So can you imagine everybody just hunting willy-nilly? Bullets would be flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't gonna say that because they're already flying everywhere. But I think we're on a. It's really good to know that more than half the people, at least half the people on Zoom here, have gardens. They're growing things that can sustain life, which the whole world is capable of growing things that can sustain life at a particular time of the year. You know, everything has a season.
Yeah, give us life too. We'll be eating this.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. I was just going to ask DeAndre to follow up with a call for me. DeAndre there?
Yeah, he's here, but he's probably outside. But we'll go on. We'll go on
yeah.
Until he comes back on and he can respond.
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm still here, Diana. What Steve said is true. I had sprung a leak in one of my offices, so I'm over here repairing the issue. So I'm just back and forth. I'm listening, but kind of back and forth on the call. But yeah, I'll call you.
Okay, thank you, DeAndre.
I think it's something that Barry might want to touch base on. Barry, are you there?
Where's Barry?
Yeah.
What
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Barry. How are you?
Hey, Walter.
Where's the garden?
Yeah. Good. How about you?
I'm asking, where's
What's
the
that?
garden? You're outside.
So the question, Barry, is not so much the question, but the segue is everybody's talking about gardens. We're talking about being able to sustain our lives with having some vegetation and to help us through somehow.
I don't know how I got over here.
And what do you say to
About how to get through the Trump cut?
No, well, yeah, that's what we do. That's what it's starting with. But what I know you have something to say regarding having your own sustainable garden.
Yeah. Well, I think that we need to come up with a way to replace the lost dollars from whatever cut come from the big beautiful bill, or but they've got to pass a budget coming up. But what I understand the Republicans are trying to do is to cut the resources, especially to blue states like right here in Chicago and Illinois. So I think that's the task. And once we have a way to do that, then we can do all kinds of things together to help each other.
Now that doesn't make any sense because interstate commerce is really interstate commerce, and it goes beyond. Come on. If you cut something from one state because it's a blue state, you think it's not going to affect your state?
No, I think the cuts are going to be all around. When they cut Medicaid, it's going to cut massive cuts all over the country, blue and red.
But you said something about blue states.
Blue states, I think their goal is to take more away from blue states as much as they can. But in any case, there are a lot of silence. In any case, the basic idea is that we can turn around all of this and make it into a positive direction by having Chicago become a dual currency city. And if you want me to say more, there are three stories three very short stories that I would tell you.
Go ahead.
To describe how that can be. Okay, let me see whether I can. Yeah, let me see whether I can pull them up. It's coming.
So,
all right, here we go. Okay, so here it is. The essence of it is we can come together and help each other. And the more we come together, the more we can accomplish. And so here are the three stories that describe how this happened. The first story is called Peacebrook. You've probably heard it before. In Peacebrook, people help one another, have a thriving community, and grassroots governing councils where anybody can start a Peace Brook council. And Peace Brooks is everywhere you see people helping one another in a loving way. So that's the first story. The second story takes place in Chicago a few years from now. Chicago is a dual currency city where everyone has two credit cards, one for dollars, the other for time currency. You can buy a bag of vegetables for $5 using your dollar credit card, or you can charge 15 minutes of your time to your time currency card. You can buy most things with either card, but there are some things like gasoline that you can only buy with your dollar-based card. Most people prefer to use their time currency card when possible, so they'll have enough money to get necessities like gasoline. You can pay your monthly time credit bill by helping people or groups you know. When you help your neighbor Mary for 2 hours or help out at your local school, you debit their time account for those 2 hours and credit your account. So that's the second story. Is that clear enough?
Yeah, go on.
The third story takes place a year from now. Hostilities have increased between the Trump regime and a lot of people in Chicago. Dollars have become increasingly scarce as prices rise. Vital services like healthcare are pushed beyond their limit, and food deliveries to the Chicagoland area have decreased. People search for new ways to get what they need. People learn who knows what, who they can rely on, and who they cannot. For example, they learn who can help grow food, who can show them how to cook, and who can help them fix a broken light switch. As a side benefit, people get to know each other in new ways and become closer to one another. Those are the three stories.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's 3 years from now. So that's
Mhm.
so one, is it clear enough about how this whole thing works? You know, is it clear enough if we were a few years from now in the future that you'd have two credit cards?
Say it again, Barry.
Is it clear enough that a few years from now, in Chicago, people would have two types of credit cards, one for dollars and the other for time currency?
Is that you saying
What?
perceivable, huh?
What I'm saying, what I'm asking is, you get what I'm saying? You get the story. Can you imagine yourself? Would you have a time currency credit card? Would you want to use your time currency credit card to get what you need, but you can't get things like gasoline? For that, you need dollars.
I think anybody will use anything if they can receive the things they want.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, is that the time currency credit card involves just helping people and getting help by people you know. And you don't have to spend dollars, you spend your time by helping each other and being helped.
I mean, for instance, SNAP. SNAP is a card. No one ever questions, oh, where does this card come from? How does it work? They just use it.
Right, that's exactly right. But that card's going away.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Thank you, Barry. I think maybe that I've thought over this over and over and over again, Barry, and I'm not even going to bring up the bad story. I'll just leave that unsaid. But I think maybe that for people, I would need to know, where can I take my time card, my credit card that is for time. I need to get my gutters cleaned, and I have X amount of hours already in the bank where I've contributed, I've donated time, effort, resources, whatever, skills into the bank for time currency. And I need someone, the only thing I need is someone to clean my gutters. Where do I go to get those gutters cleaned? Hang on. The people, I've had people do my gutters that were like, oh, I can do your gutters. I'm a good friend of your nephew, and I can come right over there. And then, they create some bigger issue. I need somebody who actually does gutters and knows what they're doing, right? So I'm looking for that service. And I think that possibly it might be good to build a base of certain resources, just like a Chamber of Commerce pools in businesses and I'm just suggesting, I don't have all the answers. It's just a scenario maybe to think about, because people want to know, where do I take this time card currency? I don't want to ask somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, hey, can you come, just because you're strong and you're healthy and you know how to hammer a nail into a piece of wood, can you come over and clean my gutters? No. Then there's
Diana,
insurance issues if the person gets hurt. Okay, go ahead. I'm done.
What I described to you, what I described to you is a few years in the future. So right now, we're not there yet, but a few years in the future, we would be there, and you'd be able to find someone.
So what's the incentive for me now then?
The incentive is, you see what's happening, and you know that you're going to have, I don't know you personally, but a lot of people are going to have less dollars, and prices are increasing. And there'll be a lot of difficulties. People will need health care, and the hospitals may close or lay people off. So what we're working on is that if you're a clinic and you have $100,000 ordinarily, but now because of the cuts that are coming, you'll only have $75,000. You could say to Dr. John, well, I could either lay you off, or if you're willing to, I'll pay you 3/4 of your regular salary in dollars and 25% of your salary in time currency. And in effect, Dr. John would, if you want to see Dr. John, you would pay him 3/4 of, let's say it's $100 fee to see him. You pay $75 in dollars and $25, which could be an hour and a quarter of your time, to Dr. John.
That sounds wonderful in 3 years.
Yeah, we're not there yet. But between now and
no,
then,
we're not even there. I asked you for a ride. You're the inventor of this, and I asked you for a ride, and you couldn't pull it off.
I'm not.
You wouldn't pull it off.
Diana,
you're an example. No, you're not. You're a neighbor. And I asked you for a ride from here to your house, and you you got to walk the walk.
I'm not the only guy. I'm not the only ride in town.
But you're the only one I asked, because I don't know everybody in town.
Oh,
that's
I thought
why
you
I
had.
asked you.
I thought you asked your children, and they didn't want to give you a ride.
whatever their reasons were, they didn't.
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can't control they are adults, and I don't have any ability to control them any more than I have an ability to control you. I just have to accept, right? But they're not. But they're not promoting this Peace Broken Time currency. You are, and so you should walk the walk that you taught. That's all. That's my only comment. If you want to see us, let's get up and move and follow the lead.
I'm not perfect.
No, I'm
Diana,
not either, Barry.
You don't like it?
And I love you and respect you, but, you know, we've been through this a few times.
Don't do it. It's totally up to you. You know, we have our choices in front of us. And so you make your choices, and each of us will make our own choices.
Next.
But is it almost like bartering goods? Not peaceful.
It is bartering.
Yeah, that's the oldest form of currency.
That's all it is. Mm-hmm.
Well, if we don't have dollars,
and we don't have no cents.
You don't have dollars, you don't have cents, right? But you have something very.
Everybody laugh.
Yep.
It's funny.
Thank you for lightening the mood.
I think honestly, we have to look at this in the light of how it really can be put into effect. Like Diana said, hey, I needed something, but nobody was there to reciprocate.
We're not 3 years in the future. Between now and then, when Diana raises these issues, between now and then, we need somebody who thinks a particular thing is a problem, do something about it, create a way to find somebody to clean your gutters.
What we need, Barry, is young people to buy into this, because everybody else is older by the minute.
So far, I've described it to
you know what
three. I think it's 5 young people, all positive responses to the 3 stories. I told them exactly the same 3 stories that I told you guys. And their reactions was, and they're hearing all the stuff for the very first time. There were strangers who were in front of the library.
Well, they know
as it turns out, all 5 of them were women, 18 years old.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I don't put a lot of merit into anybody that's 18 years old. You know, they don't even know. They don't even know what tattoo they're gonna get on their face this day and the next. So, you know.
Well, everybody's got their situation. Everybody's going to make their decision. But they liked the stories, and they liked what it was all about.
Yeah, no.
Did you get their contact information?
No, I did not, because that's not what I was after. But 2 of the women said yes, send them the notification to our meeting. So that's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
I mean,
now, whether they'll come, they may come, they may not. But that's true of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Barry.
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah.
Okay, how I think about it, but I'm doing it different. Like, how many people can you trust on one hand? Your own social network. That's what I see. So social networking. And it's
that's the what this is about. A dual currency means
social
networking.
Paradigm.
No, it's a paradigm switch. It's going from
it's a
all the social. What? Not a paradigm. A paradigm. It's like seeing things in a totally new way.
Right. Like
totally
the money
new.
is backed by gold. Now it's backed by by oil. Now, where it is.
Right. It's not
What?
about becoming a millionaire. It's about who you know, and what your reputation is becomes more important.
So now you just changed the whole thing to a social network, not a
No.
currency.
No. In other words, it's like, aren't there people you're close to?
Yeah, that's
Where
my
they
social
become
network.
no, not social network.
Yeah, if I want my house, if I need a painter, I know who to call.
Right,
It's a
that's
friend of mine.
today. Right, that's the dollar system we have. And
No, it means a 6-pack of like beer system. If it's like a friendship, it's a friendship. People don't talk about money. Let's just do it. Like that's the old days. You need brakes. Okay, get the brakes. We go put them in, and they're right in the alley or right in the sidewalk. Why are we going to go to a mechanic, charge you $800, $1,200 when you could just do it with your buddy? Do all the brakes all around, the rotors and the brakes.
Yeah.
Then if that guy needs something, you'll be always there for him. If he needs a ride or emergency something, you have to be there for the guy.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. See, even if a girl asks me, hey, I need a ride home, I have no car and it's snowing out, I'll give her a ride home. Simple. This is like, friendship is closer than like family.
So that's your depiction of time exchange.
That's original, not time exchange. This is the original.
Thank you.
Like bartering goods is the original.
Those are your relationships, right, Walter? Those are relationships you have with people. That's pretty straight. Yeah.
I keep it, they need a ride. Okay, where are you at? You're by my house. Okay, you need a ride home. Boom, take you home. Anything, groceries, your parents, anything.
But I think that's part of the whole system is you gotta be a good-hearted person,
Yeah. You got to make yourself available. Yeah. You got to be able to say yes, like Walter said. You need something. If I can help you, then I help you.
Yeah.
But there's an understanding, that everybody's in this together. And so when I need help, you have to remember that, hey, I gave you a ride home, when you needed help. So, one good turn deserves another, right? Isn't that what the old saying is? One good turn deserves another.
Yeah, if I have eggs or a farm, you need eggs for your family. That's how it was back then. You get the milkman, give you milk. You're a butcher. You get meats to the house. You got a big family. You always have food at the house.
I think that's what Barry, that's the idea Barry has behind. He's just got these other phrases, this other terminology that he's using, marketing, I guess. And I don't say that, lightly. I want to respect, and I know.
That's about bartering. The barter system is 6,000 years old. The barter system.
That's what I'm going to.
But it's time to barter our time off the show now, guys. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, but hey, let me say this in support of what Walter and Barry. Maybe that's where we should start, and maybe that's what the hesitation is to kick this off. Is that we're trying to pass the 3-year goal, and we can't get started on the first step. And I think the first step is as simple as bartering, just as Walter identified it. What I've always imagined it as, but that's just my thought.
What
we can develop, but we sure do need to start.
Yeah. The story of 3 years from now, it gives us a sense of what this thing would be like operating. But we're not there yet. So that's our task, is to take whatever steps each of us feels they need to. How can we take steps to create this, to create what Walter is talking about, and create what Diane is talking about?
So there's trial and error.
Yeah. And, you know, we're all learning. And we're taking baby steps. But we're like a baby. Soon we'll be walking.
No, we're not on the farm. Like farmers gonna last a long time because they live off the land. We live in the city, so we buy all our goods pretty much from farmers. Meat, produce. You know, there's a big produce market downtown. It's a monopoly. They got fish market downtown is a monopoly. So that's where we get our thing from a second vendor.
Hey, Walter.
Yes.
So peacefully, do you mind if we talk offside? Because I would really like to know more about what you're talking about. And I really would like to, I know that apple season is coming up and you can go pick your own apples and stuff. And I'd like to try to put some of those in jars and preserve. And anybody, you know, I mean, so I guess we should talk if you're willing.
I think you're right. And what's the worst thing that could happen? You end up eating the food, right?
Who's gonna eat the food? We're gonna make some apple pie.
Steve, yeah. Apple pie, apple jam, right? I mean, it's a start. I don't know. I think they might have pumpkin too at that time of year.
We're in Michigan or Wisconsin.
Yeah. If we could go out, if you have a favorite place, but I know Michigan, you know, like 2-hour ride.
Oh, wow.
A nice orchard. Is that too long, or do you know someplace closer?
Oh, I think they got orchards in Illinois. I gotta double check. But
okay. Steve, could you wait a minute, Walter. Steve, seriously, Steve, would you put together a group of us to go apple picking or whatever it is?
Yes, I don't know where you go, but we can find out. Nobody knows, right?
How about it, Walter?
No, you go ahead.
All right, everybody's up to it.
I'm sure we could.
I think it'd be nice. It would bring us all together in one place too. I really love to meet Miss Jacobs.
Then we could get timeshares. We
Well,
just
can I say
that? No, we ain't going that far. No timeshare. A field trip.
Okay,
Let's start with a field trip.
Can I make this announcement since she wants to meet me?
I would love to meet you.
Yeah, that was Diana.
Okay, Diana, I'm gonna have an event. I'm gonna have an event in my lot the last Friday of August, and I'm gonna have a band. I'm gonna have an old time fish fry, and I want everybody to come.
Oh, Miss Jake, that sounds absolutely fun.
I would like for everybody to give a donation because I gotta have somebody to get the lot together and you know, have the lot all set up and everything. So that's how we can meet. Everybody come. Everybody's invited. We're gonna have an old-fashioned fish fry. We're gonna have a band. We're gonna have a card table, bid whiz. Come on now, old time way.
I like the idea.
Give Steve the details.
Come on, group. Let's support.
All right, Steve, get the information.
I will. I'll get the information.
I want to meet Walter with his very slow, moderate voice, but Walter. you give me a hard time. I got to meet you.
Okay, fine. I'll be glad to. It's just a community thing. We come and fellowship together, and we just rock the block, baby.
There you go.
Okay, Miss Jacob.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we have to bring something.
Yeah, we're gonna go. They want to go apple picking. I have to find out where. I know my kids used to go somewhere, but
Miss
Then
Jacob
we
will tell
got
us what she needs. Miss Jacob, you tell us what you need.
yeah, they said his battery died.
I'll bring some
What?
pies.
Okay, if that's what you want to bring, fine. You know, a donation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just pitch in because the fish is expensive. But this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? For the community and you know, friends and everybody.
Do you have different grill? You got other grills going? Can we bring other kind of
Oh,
food?
if you want, hey, look, if you want to bring your grill, whatever you want to bring it.
The thrilling, the grill.
I just need money for fish, Miss Jacob. I was just giving money for fish.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, because I can't cook. I can't cook a lick.
Come on,
Get it to Steve.
I can't. I worked all my life. It's always working.
All the donations, just get it to Steve.
We'll figure it all in and out. She said the end of August.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll have time to talk again.
And Barry have an opportunity to come back on your block after. When the last time you been on your block? 10 years now? 8 years? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
this might be the start, Barry.
Could be. We're already started.
Yep. Let's start. All right, y'all. It's time to close out this segment. I appreciate everybody coming on. We had a great conversation. I think we made got some going in the right direction. We got some solutions. I think some of these things are really small steps, but as Barry says, you know, we got 3 years, so hey, let's count on that. All right, let's go around the room. Ms. J, what you got in conclusion?
That's my conclusion about us getting together.
Okay, sounds like a plan. How about you, Walter?
Same as Ella said, we got all these people on here. We've been talking for a while on Zoom. I know probably 1 or 2 people I met, or 3 people. Arnold, Steve, and someone else. What's the other guy's name on here? Then I will see Monk. I mean, it's good. We're on the Zoom call a lot of times. Might as well see everyone.
All right. How about you? Diana, anything in conclusion?
Yeah. Yay!
There you go. Yay. All right, Barry, what you got in conclusion?
Do we scare Barry away?
No, he's here.
No.
No, he's probably just adjusting.
Oh, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 stories.
3 stories.
Yeah, and the goal is to have the time currency be up a year from now, and 3 years from now, that was a picture of where we'd be.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. We got 3 years, so we'll be the middle of the year, or whatever 3 years from now it will be. All right,
Barry, I got a question.
July.
Barry.
Yes.
I got a question. What do you think about Bitcoin?
No, Bitcoin is totally different. That's that's based on scarcity, like gold or silver.
But nothing's backing that.
It's a digital form. What the time currency is based on something very precious, your time.
Can we buy more time?
No, you can't buy more time. You only have 24 hours.
That's why it's precious.
We can't buy more time.
That's why it's precious, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's why it's precious.
That's right.
We gotta sell that idea, Barry.
It sounds like that movie, but everybody has a watch on. How much time?
Which one you're talking about?
in time. However, that was centrally controlled. Where time currency, the way it works is you're the bank. When you help someone, you're giving them credit.
But it
So
might
you
be.
decide what?
But it might be in the future with robots, AI, and chips in your arm.
No, this is right now, here and now.
Yeah.
If you help Diana.
I've this for a long time.
Oh.
Barry has. Hold on, I got more people that got to address themselves.
All right. Talk too much.
I got a conclusion.
Okay, so I thought it was a great show tonight, as usual. I have a garden, and also the Peacemakers are having a fish picnic, and we're doing it with the Latinos in Little Village, August 3rd from 10 to 3.
Where at?
Everybody's invited in Douglas Park, over there at the lagoon.
Oh wow!
Where they killed that kid. We're gonna do it over there.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay. August 3rd.
August 3rd. Okay.
That's next Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Sunday it is. How about you, Ella, in conclusion? Anything?
No, I just want to make a comment regarding that big bill, that beautiful bill. They were saying that they were going to give an incentive for the stop charging tax on tips that the people receive, but you have to earn so much money before you can buy into that, before you get the tax credit. You have to earn, I think it was $10,000 in tips or whatever it was, but it's not like they give it to everybody.
You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to get them to report those tips so they can tax them for their money and give them a little bit more. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But that's it. I enjoyed the meeting, everyone. Have a good night.
I just want to say to everybody, like DeAndre always says, they didn't want to invite us to the table, so we had to go and create our own. So that's why every Sunday from 6 to 8, we like to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. Good night, all.
God bless everybody.
Good night, all.
Good night, everyone.